This video is going to be about work and people being afraid to move on and to find something better for themselves. So we've all been there before. We've all been in that 9 to 5 where we're scared to leave, or we're too complacent, we're too comfortable. So we just stay there, we end up staying there for years and years and moaning and whining about why haven't we left. My thing is, I've been there, I've done it. I've been through many different jobs, especially after when I left uni. When you leave uni, you're trying to find your way. You're trying to find that graduate position that's going to pay you all that money, you know. You kind of want to work in what you study so it doesn't go to waste. But most of the time, a lot of us ended up starting out just working normal, casual jobs. We don't end up doing what we studied. So I went from job to job. I wanted to obviously have money because I was holidaying a lot at that point as well. So I always wanted to have money to go on holiday with. And at that point in time, I remember I was supposed to be going away with my family, and then I must have got a job at a gym. And at that point in time, I was there. I thought, okay, yeah, I can do this. This can pay me a bit of money. When I got into it, I was like, oh, this is a bit too salesy. This is not what I want to do. And then I was like, do you know what? Let me see if I can stick this out. Thought, you know what, getting free gym membership, all of that stuff, I'm getting to work out, you know. So I tried to, you know, stick it out. Did a couple of those workouts, you know, those classes for like 20 minutes. There's intense workout classes, so I could be selling them on to, you know, potential members out. Yeah, potential members. Losing my words. So after that, I was there for like a week. I was feeling knackered. Bearing in mind, been in uni for like 4 years. Used to being at uni for like 12 hours. I'd be getting there from like 9 in the morning, especially when it was exam periods, and then not leaving till like 9 at night. So I didn't know I was feeling so exhausted doing this job. It's not like I was doing anything strenuous, if you know what I mean, but it seems like studying was just a lot easier at that time. So at this job, realizing that I'm just not liking it, and I didn't feel comfortable. You know when you feel like you just don't fit in somewhere and you just feel like you just gotta leave. So within time, I think there was a day where I actually just decided to call in sick. I was just like, you know what, yeah, this just ain't for me. It's getting on my nerves. I felt like I couldn't even socialise with my friends, couldn't do anything, and I'm just thinking, those are things that I like to do, and I felt like work was taking that away from me, just the time, and it was everything. Like the journey alone just to get there was taking like an hour and a half. Like it was just horrible. And it's not even to say that I could take a train because it was in a location that only buses were going. It was just really inconvenient. It wasn't something I wanted to do, it wasn't something I loved. So eventually I had to hand in my resignation. I was just like, you know, I just can't do this. And then I remember talking to my mum and my dad about it, and them saying, don't leave. If you haven't got another job to go to, don't leave, don't do it. And so my point is about that is, I didn't have another job to go to, but I left anyway. And people always make it seem as if, like, if you don't have nothing, don't basically leave what is making you unhappy. It was stressing me out, it was making me unhappy. I felt like I could have gone into a serious depression if I stayed, basically. So I decided to leave. But as I said, if you do not feel comfortable where you're at, or whether it is, you could have been in a job for 5 years, you could have been in a job for 10 years, you could have bills to pay. I mean, I do understand people have bills to pay. I do as well. It's not to say like I'm, you know, stress-free, ain't got no bills to pay, ain't got stuff to pay for. I do. You know, you got the rent, you got the council tax, stuff like that, got a car to pay for. You gotta run that car, you gotta put fuel in it. All different things, you gotta have food to eat, like just so many different things. And even if I wanna go out and do the so-called things that I say I like to do, whether it's with my friends and stuff like that, these are things that, you know, you're gonna need money to do. So it wasn't the smartest idea leaving, but at the same time, I felt like my peace of mind was more important. And I think it's important that people believe in themselves more and just trust in your gut instinct that even though I've left this job, I can get a job next week. And I don't want to say, like, people might look at me, because I say this to people all the time, like, if you're not happy, then leave. bounce. Like, do what you want to do. Don't let something hold you back. But I feel like people always look at me and think, okay, just because it's easier for you, it doesn't mean it's easier for us. But I feel like because I'm so positive and I always believe that things will happen for me, like, it's easy. Like, yeah, if I left my job by tomorrow, I feel like I could have people calling me for jobs. I could have an interview within a couple of days, next week. I just don't feel like it's that hard, but I feel like it depends on your attitude. Your attitude always has to be positive. You always got to keep going. You always got to keep pushing. And you got to know how to sell yourself. Meaning, you got to know how to talk about yourself, know how to basically big yourself up, make yourself sound better than what you are, basically. So when you're in that interview, like, obviously I would have said, okay, blag it, like, just go with the flow, but there's only so much blagging you can do because you got to know what you're talking about. Obviously, you got to do your research, know what the company's about, know what they want, but you got to really sell yourself. And I feel like that's the key point, because if you come across that you're confident, you know what you're talking about, but at the same time, you're not confident to the point where you're going to come in and try and take over the manager's position, because if someone sees that, they're not going to want to hire you. But at the same time, you're confident enough that you can do your role and you're going to do it to the best of your ability. But overall, my whole point of this was, don't be afraid to do what you want to do. Don't let the fact that you've got things to pay for hold you back. Don't let people convince you into staying places that you know you don't really want to stay and doing things you don't really want to do. Always push forward. And one thing that I would say, which helps a lot with me when I don't want to be somewhere, or I've decided that I'm gonna move on to a next job, but I haven't found a job yet that I want to go to, because I'm very picky. There's jobs or people that I've had calling me for jobs that I know I definitely don't want to do, and I would turn it down. It doesn't matter if it's paying a lot of money, because I feel like my peace of mind is so much more important than that. And I've been in jobs that have been paying very, very well, and I've left them because either it's too stressful, it's just not worth it. There's just been so many different reasons. But as I said, I've always had my little hustles and things going on the side, whether it's me doing hair or other little things like that. So I've always had things going on to make sure that I always have an income coming in as well. So that's another key point. Always have a hustle going. Don't just stick to the fact that, okay, I got a 9 to 5. Because even if it's not you leaving, it could be the case that they decided to let you go, or the company's losing out on money, so they got to make a couple people redundant. It could be various issues. So just always bear that in mind. But yeah, so that was that. But hopefully you guys have learned something from this. I felt like I was ranting on a bit, but I was just trying to give you a little bit of an insight as to what I've been through and how other people can come in. Don't be afraid to move forward. And even after that job, I didn't get a job straight away. I went on my holiday. I came back. My cousin actually helped me get a job. I didn't stay in that job for too long either. Like, I was just on the raw. I just knew that that just wasn't what I wanted to do. Like, that was just a stepping stone just for me to have a little bit of an income while I was trying to reach for my goals. So I did that for like 5 months. Actually, I didn't even actually tell you guys how long I stayed at that job that I decided to leave at the gym. I was only there for about 3 weeks. I think it was almost a month. I was just thinking, this is just not for me. I'm not staying here. But yeah, but next job after that, I was there for like 5 months. And then I moved on to a next job. That was the one that paid quite really well. And, but it just wasn't. At first I thought, yeah, it's okay. I mean, it wasn't an easy job to do. It was quite a hard job, I'm not gonna lie. I knew I was capable, but it was just too stressful. So many different things, them not having enough staff. And you know, when they don't have enough staff, they expect you to carry out work, but are you paying me more? Are you giving me a pay rise? It's just so many different things. And it's, yeah, I just felt like when I was working for them, it's like they just weren't that appreciative of their staff and the effort that they put in. But as I said, if you feel like something's not for you, don't stick with it. Move on. Do what you gotta do. Always keep pushing forward. Don't let anybody make you believe, as I said before, that you can't do what you want to do. Always believe in yourself, and always think about your mental health. I say your physical and mental health is very important, because without those things you will not be able to do anything.